Welcome back to another episode of the Middletown Now podcast. I'm your host, Clayton Castle, and we are here telling another Middletown success story. This time we are with Angie Smith. She is the Event Center Manager for the City of Middletown, and we are talking about the success of the Event Center of Middletown. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with you first. What drove you to want to go into event planning? I know you were a teacher before. What drove you to go from teaching to kind of event planning?
So during my time with Warren County Board of Developmental Disabilities, I planned all of their events and grew to love it. It was a lot of fun being able to plan events and carry out events for adults with disabilities. And that just kind of grew into my work with Chamber of Commerce. And then I came here, so I get to do it all. The best of both worlds.
So, as I said, you were a teacher. What kind of transferable skills? You have to be outgoing. What other skills that you learned from teaching that can carry over into a role like this?
So those roles play both sides from teaching to event planning would be organization, customer service, definitely communication. But being able to take, whether it's a child or an adult, and carry out their dream for whatever event they want is, you're watching a child learn and the light bulb go off. You're watching an adult plan a wedding or a reception and you're watching the light bulb go off when they walk in and see their dream become reality.
So you actually are from Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You moved to Ohio. What was Tennessee Angie like? What were you like growing up? You said you wanted to be a teacher from a very early age.
From the age of 3, I would play school with my dolls and teddy bears. My entire life, I wanted to be a school teacher. So I was a student teacher, intern, high school type thing in honors classes, and then went to college, continued to shadow in the schools, loved it. Graduated from college, immediately went into teaching, and then continued my education with my master's EDS. Taught for several years, then moved to Ohio.
So you talked about your time at the Warren County DD, mm-hmm. and then you went to the Chamber of Commerce, correct? Kind of talk about a little bit about what you did there.
So at the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, I was the executive director. So not only did I support businesses through membership, I also planned and carried out multiple events for the city of Lebanon. Most people know the Carriage Parade, where we bring in close to 100,000 people each year. That was probably my favorite event. Lots and lots of planning, lots and lots of people to make it happen, but it's definitely one of the best events in this region by far.
So you have been the event center manager since about September last year. Why Middletown? Why did you see this role, and what drove you to want to come to Middletown?
So coming from a government sector, then out into a public sector, then back into a government sector, there's a lot of different things that play a huge role, not only future retirement plans and things like that, but also to being able to have a team of, coworkers and employees to help you further those goals. So that was the number one thing. The second thing, when I came here and saw the event center, I was blown away. I was like, there's no way that this is in the heart of Middletown and no one really knows about it. So being able to offer an event center for the community at a reasonable price where they make the decisions on what they want. I've been on both sides, from rental centers to planning events, and being able to do that was hands down easy. That was an easy, I want to be here.
Talk a little bit more about this building. It is a beautiful building. Obviously, we recorded our first episode right here behind this bar. And with the beautiful background, you're responsible for all the decorations back here. Talk a little bit about the work that you've done in the center since you've been here.
So when I came in September, it had not been rented out since the city purchased it. And I was greeted by a community member who said they had an event here 3 weeks after I started. And we had a lot of cleaning that we had to do, a lot of decorating that we had to do. And when I say it takes a team of people, it really took a team. It took a company coming in to clean, people from the city helping get things ready. So we really, from the top to the bottom, cleaned it. organized everything, figured out what all that we had, and we were successfully able to pull off a luncheon of about 250 people, I guess.
Wow.
So since then, having Antoinette and again, a lot of coworkers, we've been able to really clean things up, decorate, come up with rental information, definitely organize and catalog things and see what we need, what we don't need. We still have a long way to go, but we're definitely getting there.
So when we purchased the building about a year ago, we were hoping to book out events almost every weekend. We kind of at the time thought it might be too high of a bar, but you've accomplished that. I mean, talk a little bit about the success of the event center that you've seen since you've been here. Talk about the rest of the year and what the schedule of the event center looks like.
Sure. So when I was hired, at the time, the city manager, Nathan, mentioned, 18 months. City council wants to be able to reevaluate 18 months of the success of the place and where we're going, what we're doing, and kind of look to see what we want to do for next year. So in my mind, I'm thinking 18 months is where kind of the mark for me was. Through this past, not even 6 months, a little over 6 months, we have been able to market what we do, from photos to various marketing videos to getting the word out, getting people in this building to see what it looks like. And so it kind of took off. Our website is up and they're doing a few more edits to it. But we have been able to, in fact, as of today, we just booked 79, our 79th event. So we're super excited about that. We are pretty much booked every weekend in September and October. I think we might have one in November and we have 2 in August, I think, left. So we're filling up fast. So it's kind of neat.
Talk a little bit about what happens in this center during the day. When we bought the building, a lot of people were concerned that there's not going to be a place for seniors anymore. But that's not the case here. Can you talk a little bit about the senior programming that happens here?
So, like you mentioned, the city invested in purchasing this building to keep the doors open for the seniors in and around the community. And that's 50 and above. And what they wanted to do is continue to offer a space where seniors can come, continue programming, continue gathering opportunities to really keep their livelihood. And so every day from 8:30 to 4:30, we are open, offering a variety of programs. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're open later because they have evening classes now. And so we have right around 300 paid members who are in and out on a daily basis. Sometimes they come in and spend all day with us. Sometimes they're here for just a small portion of the day, but it's fun. You get to see them interact. This is their livelihood. And so being able to not only offer rental space for the community of all ages, but then to offer, a space for seniors to come in during the day, it's hands down a very rewarding job.
If you watched the last episode of the podcast, you might have been able to hear some of the senior activities happening on the other side of the wall here. That was, I believe, beach volleyball or chair volleyball that day.
Probably.
So this is a very busy center during the day, seniors coming in and out. And I love coming here and just interacting with the seniors. There was a couple right before we started recording that she was just hilarious when she was talking about, class canceled, I guess we have to go to lunch. So, I mean, it's really a great space for seniors, people above 50 to come and enjoy themselves.
100%.
So before we end, I have to ask you about our favorite person in the world.
Yes.
Antoinette Coleman. If you have come to the event center, chances are you have seen Antoinette. She is the fun lady at the front desk. She's more than willing to help you, but she is much more than an administrative assistant to us. She is our spiritual guide for many of us. So can you talk a little bit about what your relationship with Antoinette is like?
Yes, so Antoinette she runs the place. I just get to come here and she tells me what to do. She was hands down what kept this place running. when the city first purchased the building. She was here as a retired teacher, came back and volunteered for a while. I would come open the doors so they could come in. And then when I came in, she pretty much showed me the ropes, told me how things were, keeps me on track, keeps me organized. She knows the seniors by name. There's no way I couldn't do it without her. She is by far the true foundation to the success of this building for sure.
Angie, is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
I don't think so. If you're looking for a place to host an event of any kind, we'd love to see you come out and give us a tour.
Everything from a first birthday party to a wedding to a corporate event to just parties of all shapes and sizes. The Event Center in Middletown is here for you. Angie Smith, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Middletown Now podcast. You can start catching these podcasts on our YouTube channel, and we will be back next month with another awesome guest. And I promise this guest is awesome. Not that Angie's not awesome. Angie is awesome. She's one of my favorite people in the city. But we'll be back next month with another great episode. Till then, talk to you later.